Hey guys, what's going on? Matthew or MP Brick Studios here, back with another LEGO Ninjago video here on the channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at set number 71795, the Temple of the Dragon Energy Cores. This set retails for $95 in the US, has 1,029 pieces, 6 minifigures, and with that we can get on to the review. But what I wanted to do first was grab some of the most common Ninjago sets that I figure people might have the most. And first off, I have the Cormac here. This isn't included in the set, but I just want to show you guys the scale. Look at how tall this thing is. It is huge compared to this mech. I'll grab another. Next up, we have the new Young Dragon Ryu that I figure a lot of people are at least going to get. And it's very large compared to that as well. And then next up, we have the Hydromech here. Here it is. Put it, oh, gotta stand it up. All right, put it right there, and it's pretty tall. It stands really, really large compared to all three of these sets. And I figured I would just grab some of the most common so that I can compare them. So with that, we can get on to the rest of the review. But starting off with the set itself, we have this little side build here. It's just a shrine for this little weapon that you can give to the spirit of the temple there. That's his weapon. And you've got kind of this green energy with some white in it. I guess that's some sort of symbol there. But this is just like a little shrine for the spirit of the temple's weapon. Got this little roof bit here, and then two of those printed lanterns for this set, which is very nice inclusion. I love these a lot. But let's get on to the rest of the build. So starting at the base of the main build here, we just have some rock work here and just some big space where you can place some minifigures. And then on the sides here, you have these little statues, which look like little animals or people or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but they look kind of cute. I like them. Then here you have the kind of source dragon symbol there with the cores at the top. Moving this tree out of the way, you can see the doors in their full glory. They do get pushed out and pushed in a little too much sometimes, so if this is a display set for you, you kind of have to get it centered correctly. Love the shurikens as door handles. We've seen that before, but it's very nice. Love the dark red doors and pushing in on them here. They can open like that. Honestly, I don't think they open enough. Like, especially if you look on the inside. They don't open enough for my taste. That's not enough. Like, here, let me grab a minifigure. So we've got Kai here. And we try and get him through there, right? I mean, it's just barely enough to, get him through maybe like standing up. Yeah, just barely enough. But I wish you could have, maybe if these things opened even further, you could have the whole gang open, like go in through there. And I wish that was the case, because that would be really nice if you could do that. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. Lifting this and pulling it away. Now closing that back up, because that's not the main focus. Next up we have like these little lanterns here. You have one here. And on the other side you have this tree here that does have a function that we'll look at later. That's just in the same place. And it has one of those printed lanterns off of it. Very nice of those in this set. And then next we have, there's one of the core kind of CCBS limb elements there that holds on this well piece. And looking a little closer at it, you can see there's like green water flowing around in there, and it's really cool. But then you've got this little tree, and off of it you have this string with banners that say orb, and it goes all the way up to here. So that looks nice. Moving further up the build, I'm going to move this tree out of the way again, just a little bit. You have this orb here this dragon energy core, whatever, on this stonework, which I think looks very nice. And then you have this nice curved blue roof with a little gold ink pot in the middle. And if we take Kai, we can have him running up or running down, however you want to do it. But he looks very good. You know, you can pose minifigures on here. It's not perfect. I wish it was a lot better. Like, these studs are really, really close. So I don't even know if you could get, I don't think you could ever get too many figures on here at the same time. So like maybe you put Kai here like this. Yeah, I don't think there's any way you're getting too many figures on this section alone. So you'd have to have like Kai running this way and then Roz running this way, and then you'd have to just assume they would meet in the middle there instead of actually having them meet. But then moving up, you have this little scroll here, which I'm not exactly sure what that says. Does that say energy? Maybe? Let me translate. Alright, I was unable to decipher that, but if anyone can, let me know down below in the comments. But then moving further over, we still have more. We have, moving down a little bit, we have this section of the tree. So you've got these kind of big, almost cockpit-like pieces here that I can go ahead and remove one and show you. That's basically what it's like. And you've just got greebling detailing all in there. I guess you could take this out and hide something in there if you wanted to. It's not really a function, but there's something you can do to be creative. And you've just got greebling of all this tree detail and the rock detailing below it and everything. Then you've got two more of those cockpit-like pieces. And I just love all the limbs going throughout this thing. But I think now it's time to move to the bottom inside. And inside of this, you're still just using mostly brown bricks and tree parts and stuff like that. And inside, you can see that there's like a library with the Source Dragon kind of symbols there. And that looks great. Then you've got this crest on the top here. Then turning this, there's not really anything right there. That's just a tunnel for what is on the next floor, which we'll look at once we cover the rest of the exterior. But then going up, you have just more tree details here, and I think it just looks great with all the different colors they used, and I love the shaping of the tree as well. It looks great how it comes out, goes back in, and just has massive limbs. Then you have these nice dark blue, kind of greebled roofs there, and then this nice bridge. And in the middle here, you do have the Dragon Energy Core inside of a window. More, just more branches, and I love how fleshed out this thing is with branches. That looks great, how you can see all the branches there. There's just a ton of them, and I think it looks amazing. Going further up, you got more dark blue roofing there, and up top you just got this tiny space here and even more. A little damage there maybe, but still looks amazing. But then I'm going to show you this. This is one of my favorite things. So here we have this little bridge that comes from the inside out to this little platform here, and on this platform you can place a minifigure there. But what I think is one of the most unique things is if you look below the bridge, they actually use a railing piece to build the bridge. So I'm going to get the camera adjusted to show you. So here's pretty much the best look I can get of the bottom of the bridge. And what I was thinking was, basically you can take a minifigure and say we have one of the villains. Maybe we have Beatrix going across the top. It's kind of hard to get minifigures to stand on it, which I'll show you in a bit. But say we have a villain going on top. Then we have Kai here, who is here first, but just needs to hide before they find him, right? something like that, just a little bit of storytelling there. You try and get him in there. It may be difficult. We'll throw him in sideways like this, and he can hold on below the bridge and hide there. I don't think it would work for any of the other ninja because they don't really blend in with the bridge, but I think it's unique and I like it a lot. But continuing on the top here, you can see there are bars and you can't really connect minifigures to that. So that's one little bit that I don't like. You can have their hands connect to the handles, the rails there. Hard to do it one-handed, but there you go. And you can have them going across, but it's not as good as if they could connect. But I do like it. It's very nice, and I definitely like how it looks for sure. But then looking at the play feature of this little, what is this called? Balcony, I guess. This little bit out here. You can take this little flag, push it down, and it will push it off. So let's get that better. And there it goes. Oh, Kai fell off. But yeah, that's how it works. I wish it kind of flew further, because it doesn't really go anywhere. It just kind of hops and then goes here, and then it rolls. So I wish it did go further, but I think it's fine what it is. Even if you hit it harder, it doesn't really go anywhere. So, but with that, I think we can continue on to the interior. So here we are on the second level of the temple, and starting off, you just have some space to pose figures. Then over here, you have some barrels stacked up, which you can actually pull this cone and you'll drop them down, which I'll put a minifigure down there so that you can actually see him getting knocked over. So we'll plop Kai right in there. Gonna try and knock him over, but it may not. Oh, only one fell. There. They hit him, but they didn't knock him over. So you can see that's kind of how they work. Very rolly too. But I'm glad to get more of these kind of spinjitzu twirly things that's, you know, they were on the spinjitzu sets. And I definitely liked those. My bad, I forgot to push it back in. But I definitely liked that print. It was very nice, and I'm glad to get some more. So they look very good. But moving to the other section, you kind of just have this doorway where you can put minifigures in, and I like how it's built. It works with everything. It looks good, and I think it's perfectly fine for what it is. And then you've got this little pedestal, I guess, that you can put a minifigure on, and specifically that would be the spirit of the temple. I have his statue face turned to the front. And then you've got this little gear here that actually pops him off. And if we take Kai, place him in, kind of difficult to get him in there, but place him in the most unexpected spot. Try and get him in there. That's kind of difficult. I don't want to attach him to the studs because then he won't. There. And then you twist this, and he'll jump out at you, which I think looks neat. But I do wish that we got the actual, like an actual statue here. This wasn't accurate to the show at all. He didn't look like a statue, so it's not really supposed to be a statue, I guess. I guess you're just supposed to put the spirit there and he's attacking them. So something like that. But then moving up, you do have some torches. And then this is one of the greatest details. You've just got these curved elements that have, they're brown and they've got just like bits of tree in them, and it just looks amazing to me. I love how it looks, and you've just got tree going throughout this build, and I love it so much. And then on the very top, you don't have much space to pose figures, and you've got more of that tree right there growing through. You also have a branch coming off the side here. That's kind of just structural, and then they turned it into like a branch there, which looks nice. And then right here, you've got the dragon energy core right there. This is the golden one, and you can very easily remove it by pushing it out like that. And here's how it looks like outside of the little casing thing. And I think these are great collectibles. They definitely look exactly like they do in the show, and I like them a lot. But popping that back in, I like how you can see you have the dragon hilts here, and when I look at this, I see the source dragon symbol, I guess, when you think about it, because it's got like the little bits of horns on the side, and then you've got the core in the middle, which I think looks exactly, well, not exactly like, but kind of like a brick built version. So I think that looks great. And this is where you can see the doorway out to the bridge, and you've got another little jumper there that you can place a minifigure on. This is kind of difficult to film, but you can see it right there. And then at the very top, you can see you've got that bell, and you can push this little Technic bit and it will ring. It doesn't actually ring, but it moves. So this isn't really for minifigures, but I think it looks great. And yeah, I think we can get on to the minifigures. But before we get to the minifigures, I have one more thing to mention. And you see this little Technic bit here, you can twist this and it will drop the tree in the front, and so people won't be able to get in. Personally, I think it's a nice feature for kids maybe, but I'm going to be leaving it up on mine. So here are the first two minifigures in this set. We have Dragon's Rising Kai and Dragon's Rising Cole. So if you don't already know, I really like these suits for every one of the ninja. They look amazing. I just love how they're going back to just basic ninja suits, and this is more of a hint on the show instead of the sets, but I like how they're just going to plain katanas, and really in the show, all they use is their elemental powers, and these minifigures show that as well. They look great. They really show their element, and it is going to be sad that we lose awesome weapon builds for the ninja and all that, but I like how they're going. I like the direction they're going with the minifigures and the show. It looks amazing. But looking a little closer at Kai, the biggest problem with these minifigures, I think I've mentioned it before, you can't really turn their heads. I'm sure you've heard it before from many other people. I'm sure you've thought it before. It is a pretty big problem with them, but overall, if you just think of them as display figures, they look amazing. I don't want to think of them as just display figures. I mean, frankly, I would love to have them in great poses, get some pictures from some sets and all that, but if you do look at them just like that, they are still very amazing. Removing this, you have dragon power eyes. This is after they've been powered up by a dragon, kind of like Lloyd had. Then here you have their just other faces. And personally, I like to keep mine on the regular faces, but these are my extras. So I have, I keep one with the regular face and one with the dragon power eyes. And then looking a little closer at these, kind of not new really anymore, but the new ones for this wave, they've got this little armor bit, and the mask comes up in front of their face. Not too much to say, but I think they look good, and they've got the kind of ZX attachment around the back. Then in the front, they've got clamps with their different elements. Kai has fire there, and a gray undershirt, a little different for Kai. I definitely think this calls back to his Hands of Time suit a lot, because it has the black belt, which really calls back, and then the dark red. This thing looks amazing. Then you've got the Source Dragon symbol on the back, with some flames erupting from it. So there is Kai, and we'll build him back up. I'm gonna put him together, and then we'll look at Cole. So Cole is another great one. I love the orange detailing on him. He looks amazing as well. Kind of, just going back to a basic ninja. Just basic black ninja with some orange on him. The rocks around his eyes are amazing. I love, here, I'll get it off first, but his eyes look amazing themselves. Like with that yellowy orange color, looks awesome. And the kind of rock shape and all the red rocks, he looks great in this. Then he's got kind of this open mouth smile, which looks great for Cole. Straight out of the show, pretty much. And then he's got another one of those armor pieces in black, though. Then he's got a gray undershirt, rock clamps, got his symbol there, and just some orange. It's kind of interesting how Kai has red, plain red as his base color, and then the dark red is on the bottom, but Cole has black as his base color and orange on the top. It's kind of odd, but I think it works. And then Cole's leg print is amazing. Like, just look at that gold kind of trim going through his belt there. I think that looks great. Then he's got just this little orange detail line going through. And really, these legs are really great. Then around the back, he has more orange and the Earth Source Dragon symbol there. So, overall, I think these two minifigures are great. They're amazing for this wave, and I love all these suits overall. But with that, we have to get on to the next minifigures. So here are the next two minifigures in this set. We have Dragon's Rising Nia, and we have the Spirit of the Temple. Starting off with Nia, she is probably one of my favorite suits from this wave. She just looks so amazing going towards the lighter azure blue and just looks so good. I like the silver detailing, calling back to some of her other suits as well. And then that dark red belt, just staying strong, which I think looks amazing. Then removing her hood and her head, we have, there's her dragon eyes side. And I think these are much better than the Prime Empire ones, personally, for me, because they have their elements on the side. They're not just basic for everyone. They're not the same thing, which is great. And then here is the Nia expression, which I think is good, but we have enough smiling Nia faces. We need more angry Nia faces. So that would have been better, but it's alright. And then removing this, she has a dark red undershirt and a kind of wavy little clamp bit there. And then she's got the water source dragon symbol around the back. And if you shine it, they kind of wash each other out with the shine, the gold and the silver do. But like this, I think they look great. So turning her around, we'll get her built back up. And then look at the Spirit of the Temple minifigure. So looking at him, he just uses the basic kind of Jedi hood here, which we'll remove here to see more detail. And I love how kind of mystical he looks and how he does fit the show. It looks great. He's got a black dress piece with the kind of lime green going down. Definitely fits, and he's got spirits on his torso, like in his shirt, which looks interesting. Dark green arms and everything. I think this guy looks mystical, mysterious, and awesome. So this first face is exactly what we've seen in the show, but this second one, never seen it before. And his back print is just kind of swirling green, and then it says Spirit on it in Ninjago. So I think these are two great minifigures. The Spirit of the Temple is maybe a little niche, but I guess since they were making the set, they said, oh, okay, we'll make it. So I think these are great minifigures, but with that, we can get on to the next two. So here are the final two minifigures in the set. We have Empress Beatrix and Lord Roz. So starting with Beatrix, she has the same armor as every other Imperium member. I wish she got her cape in this set. Same weapon, and honestly, I think that's kind of disappointing. Like, not getting something to distinguish her. She does have different haircut, different head, different torso, different legs, but like, you could almost take this hair off, maybe put on Rapton's hair, and from the back, it might look like Grafton, or maybe one of the helmets on, and it'll look like one of them from the back. So I think she should have been maybe a little more unique, gotten a cape, gotten a different weapon, something like that. And they even made the weapon that she uses, so I don't get why she didn't get it. But she has this nice slicked over hair, which looks good. This really scowling face here with the kind of Imperium cyber technology kind of bits, I guess, painting on her face. Not sure exactly what it is, but removing that around the side, she's just got this little smirk and she's angry. Placing that on, though, the other side, if you're using this head print, the other side definitely peeks through. And for play, that's not really a problem. Even display, that's not really a problem. But, like, you have to kind of push it over and then you can still see it. This side is better if you try and put it over. So, like, all you can really see is the cheekbone and maybe a little bit of an eyebrow. But I definitely wish this figure could get maybe like one head in, like maybe this expression in this set and then this expression in the other set she came in. So removing this, we can look at her torso print, and I like the royal robes. They definitely did these well. They look good, and they've got more of that technology from Imperium. And then looking down, she's got armored feet, some golden gloves, and I love how royal these feel with gold, gunmetal gray, all these fancy colors just being used on every single figure from Imperium. And then she's got like some little banners on the side and the Imperium symbol in the middle. So I think this minifigure is pretty good. I definitely like it, but I wish it could be better from what we've seen in the show. But moving on to Lord Raz, I really don't have a problem with him, except for his weapon. His weapon is a bit of a problem. That doesn't have the long enough hilt, but I can just fix that myself. That's not too hard. But overall, this guy looks amazing. He's got this nice animal mold head, which doesn't have the teeth printed. I think that's okay, though. I think it's perfectly fine. Maybe I'll try and do one of them with the teeth, show you guys how it is, but I think that's fine. They can't do it. It is what it is. But then he's got what I might say are better robes than Beatrix's. I definitely like them a lot more. And then he's got this nice tiger arm printing with some little golden wristbands on the bottom and some golden gloves. I assume those lead in like gauntlets. And around the back, he's got the Imperium symbol as well. And a nice belt with like a little Imperium symbol down there. And I like how it flows through to his leg print. That definitely looks good. Almost looks like he has chainmail on his legs there. And then just some armor. And overall, I definitely like this guy. I love how many sets you can get him in. So that's the biggest deal with this guy. But with that, I think we can get on to my final thoughts. So what are my overall thoughts on this set? For $95 in 2023, I think this set is amazing. You get some great minifigures, good ninja, side character, villains, and just a fun build. I had a great time building it. I had a great time talking about it to all of you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.